that you are able to see the screen.
Mr. Odongo, you will first explain to court the content of that flash. What does it contain in details, and what are you going to play?
Well, my lord, the flash contains CCTV footages for the movements of the motor vehicle, CCTV footages on the movements of the motor vehicle from Chanja, through multiple locations, that is Nakawa, Lugogo, Electoral Commission, Chibuli, areas of Kabalagala, Kansanga, Surubunga, and finally to Gaba. From Gaba, you also see the vehicle at Renewal Circle. From Renewal Circle, my lord, we see the return route of the same motor vehicle.
As you have told the court in your evidence?
Yes, my lord.
Okay.
In the return, you see the vehicle in areas of Bunga,
Okay.
Kansanga, Kabalagala. We see it at the Arena Mall, traffic lights. It proceeds to Electoral Commission and finally to Shell Ginger Road, my lord.
Okay.
Those are all the movements in the day prior to the incident day, my lord.
Okay, let's have the footage. If you want, you can sit. My lord, I believe even Mr. Okero may sit if he wants.
He prefers to stand? Okay, it's okay.
Agambe ku flash eyo kuliko akatambi akakwatibwa emmotoka eyo we yalinga evugibwa we yatandikira mu bitundu by'ekyanja neita enakawa erugogo ku Electoral Commission ekibuli ekabalagala ekansanga ebbunga paka we yakomekereza mu bitundu by'eggaba naye nga eggaba yapakinga ku renewal essako n'emmotoka eyo era yakwatibwa we yalinga eddayo ng'ekozesa ebitundu by'eggaba Kansanga Kabalagala ne ku bitala bya Arena Mall ku Electoral Commission ne we yakomekereza ku Ginger Road ku Shell.
We are your friends to help you. Please.
How much time do you need, Mr. Dongo?
My lord, just connecting this cable. This device has refused to work, my lord. About 2 minutes.
You will have to tell court as you play along. Where you need pausing, you can keep pausing and explain.
My lord, as earlier on in the report, this is the camera called Nakawa Metal Fabrication. It captured that motor vehicle being driven towards Lugogo.
Point to us.
It clearly has an arrow. It moves with that red arrow.
Okay, okay.
So it identifies the vehicle from other motor vehicles, my lord. So I have left out the point of Kisasi because it clearly shows the registration number plate, which I was advised not to show out here. So that's why I have come to the next camera, that is Nakawa Metal Fabrication, and it shows clearly the motor vehicle being driven towards Lugogo. That is the metal.
Mukatambi ako emotoka yali evugibwa kuliko akasale ku motoka suspect yo yalimu ngera ali ekwatibwa kamera zawe ku Nakawa Metal Fabrications yali evugibwa ngedda mu bitundu bye Lugogo.
My lord, that is now the motor vehicle at Lugogo Rugby proceeding towards New Vision traffic lights.
Yali etuuse Lugogo ngedda paka ku New Vision ku bitaala.
As you can see there, my lord, the vehicle proceeds towards Electoral Commission.
Ngali egenda mu bitundu bye Electoral Commission.
From Electoral Commission, it comes to Daily Monitor Junction.
Awo ng'etuuse ku junction ya Daily Monitor.
It proceeds now towards Chibuli.
Ng'egenda mu bitundu bye Chibuli.
From Chibuli, my lord, it comes to Kisugu Kabalagala Junction.
Ngevudde Chibuli netuuka ku junction ya Kisugu Kabalagala.
That is the motor vehicle, my lord.
Ngira ye emmotoka okuli akasale.
There it's now heading towards Kabalagala Junction.
Awo yali egenda mu bitundu bye Kabalagala ku junction.
From Kabalagala Junction, I again see it at Heritage Junction, Kansanga.
Yaddamu neerabwa ku Heritage Junction e Kansanga.
That is the motor vehicle, my lord. Proceeding now towards Chitalanga
Kati awo yali
Junction.
ng'egenda ku Kitalanga ku junction.
That is the motor vehicle, my lord, now at Bunga Market.
Ye emmotoka ng'etuuse katale k'ebbunga.
It proceeds towards Gaba Trading Center.
Ne yeeyongerayo paka mu katawuni k'Eggaba.
As you see the camera named Gaba National Water at the junction.
Ng'era kamera eyo yali ya Gaba National Water ku junction eyo.
Clearly captured it.
N'egikwata bulungi.
That is the motor vehicle, my lord. The next camera from National Water is Gaba Trading Center. And that is that junction as you're coming towards the scene, my lord.
Kamera endala eyamukwata era yali ya Gaba Trading Center.
The direction is facing is the direction of the scene, my lord.
Ng'emmotoka gye yali etunudde yali agenda eyo wali wakola ebikolwa ebyo.
My lord, one of the features that I identified earlier on in the report is the back end tire, the spare tire, as you see.
ngera bwe yali yazula ku mmotoka eyo yali eyina spare tire emabega.
My Lord, from there, the next camera that sees this motor vehicle is a private camera at Renewal Circle.
Eyo kamera yali ya bwannannyini eya Renewal Circle, neera nayo neekwata emmotoka eyo.
The activities I earlier on took you through are all clearly seen here, my Lord.
Can you rewind a bit to see how it comes to renewal?
My Lord, that's how the vehicle comes to renewal. At the parking, there were other motor vehicles, but he came looking, searching for where to park, and parked right behind that black motor vehicle you see.
Engeri emmotoka gye yatuukamu mu kitundu ekyo era n'apaakinga emabega w'emmotoka eyo.
Play on.
My Lord, that is how the suspect disembarked from the motor vehicle. He closed, as I was earlier on explaining, and confirmed whether it was properly closed.
Can you play it again? That particular activity?
Is that okay? Thank you, my Lord. So he therefore now walks towards the scene.
Awo n'amala n'atambula paka ali ku ssiini oba we yatemulira abaana.
My Lord, he finished about 12 minutes from there.
Ng'era kyamutwalira eddakiika nga 12.
I think you can forward it to when he returns.
That's what I'm trying to do, my Lord. Is there returning, my Lord? As I earlier on talked about checking on the tire right at the co-driver's side, on the left-hand side. That is the activity there. He checked it. After checking, he got into the same motor vehicle. My Lord, that's how he leaves that parking.
nga yengeri gye yavaawo ku parking eyo.
You may have to forward to the next camera if it takes longer.
There, my Lord, he has left that parking.
Awo amaze okuba nga avaawo ku parking eyo.
From that parking, my Lord, the next camera is Gaba Trading Center. It sees the same vehicle joining the Gaba Road from a minor road. My Lord, it means he didn't come back through this junction. He used a shortcut and joined this Gaba Road through a minor road.
Nti kamera zaabwe eza Gaba Trading Center tezaamulaba nga akomawo wabula yakozesa kappanya.
That is the vehicle there, as you see, my Lord.
Era ye mmotoka eri maaso nga bwe
Then it proceeds now to the same route used now here.
Awo neekozesa era ekkubo erimu lye yabadde
The
akozesezza.
camera of Gaba National Water
Nga ye kamera ya Gaba National Water.
proceeds to Bunga Market.
Ng'egenda ku katale k'ebbunga.
As you may see, that is Oryx on your left. That is the vehicle proceeding, my Lord.
Era ye mmotoka eyeeyongerayo.
Now, this is where I show, in this footage, it shows branch of point to a dark spot. This is the camera named Gaba Shell at 12:31, as I earlier on said, my Lord.
Ng'era eyo kamera eya Shell eyeggaba eyakwata emmotoka eyo ku ssaawa 6:31.
Between that camera and the next camera is a distance of about 500 meters, my Lord.
Nti wakati wa kamera eyo n'eyaddamu okumukwata waliwo distance ya meters nga 5.
Now from that dark spot, my Lord, you see that vehicle getting back to this Gaba Road at 14:19, as I earlier on said.
Awo neddamu nerabwa ku luguudo lw'e Gaba Road ku ssaawa 8:19.
From 12:31, you see it again at 14:19. It returns to the road and drives through towards the direction of Kansanga.
Ng'era yali evuga ng'egenda mu bitundu by'e Kansanga.
You see it at Kabalagala Chitalanga Junction.
N'ogiraba ku Kabalagala Kitalanga Junction.
It is here at Heritage Junction, Kansanga.
Neddamu nerabwa ku Heritage Junction e Kansanga.
From Heritage, it comes to, this is Kabalagala Junction, as you may see, my Lord.
Junction ye Kabalagala nga emulaba.
As it's proceeding now towards Arena Mall.
Awo ng'ali egenda paka ku Arena Mall.
That is the vehicle now at Sharing, Sambia Sharing.
Awo ye mmotoka ng'etuuse Nsambya ku Sharing.
And that is the vehicle at Arena Mall.
Kati nga ye mmotoka
Traffic
ng'etuuse ku
lights.
Arena Mall ku bitaala.
It takes the direction of Mukwano Road
N'ekwata oluguudo oludda ku Mukwano Road.
and arrives here at Electoral Commission, my Lord.
Awo ng'etuuse ku Electoral Commission.
From Electoral Commission, Shell Ginger Road is right here, my Lord.
Awo Shell Ginger Road eri awo wali
So
Obulaga.
the vehicle branched to Shell Ginger Road,
Era emmotoka n'eweta awo ku mafuta ga Shell Ginger Road.
maybe also known as Kitgum House.
Era ng'ewayitibwa era nga Kitugumu House.
So that is now the camera at Shell Ginger Road, my Lord.
Nga yeeyo kamera eya Shell Ginger Road.
That is how the vehicle arrived at Shell Ginger Road.
Nga yeeyo engeri emmotoka gye yatuukamu ku Shell eyo.
The suspect was driving it disembarks.
Era suspect yali avuga emmotoka eyo n'avaamu.
He interacted with the staff of Shell.
N'ayogera n'omu ku bakozi aba Shell eyo.
The suspect of Shell now, the staff at Shell now enters in the vehicle.
Ng'era omukozi wa Shell eyo n'ayingira emmotoka eyo.
Then the suspect participated in the activity of pushing that same motor vehicle.
Ng'era suspect naye yasobola okubeera nga asindika emmotoka eyo.
While being assisted by other staff at Shell Jinja Road, my lord.
Ng'ayambibwako n'abakozi abalala aba Shell eyo.
And they pushed it to the parking within there, my lord.
Era ne bagisindika paka mu parking ku Shell eyo.
You play on, but we see the activity.
That is the suspect you're seeing, my lord.
Yoyo suspect gwe mulaba.
That is the other staff at Shell.
Yoyo omukozi omulala owa Shell.
Another staff joined.
Omukozi omulala n'abeegattako.
That is now the point where they began pushing. The suspect himself started pushing the vehicle.
Nga okay kaseera suspect ye mwennyini n'atandika okubeera
then other staff joined
n'abakozi abalala nabo ne basindika
and pushed that vehicle. My lord, from there, that is where the activity of first ends. We come to the second day of April.
This
is the camera named Gaba Kauku Junction. It shows this suspect emerging from the Nanjala Road somewhere here, my lord. While on a motorcycle, my lord. This is where I sighted him, my lord, on this camera. After identifying the dressing code. After his arrest, my lord.
Is it zoomable?
Yes, my lord.
Can you try to zoom it for court?
So at that point, my lord, you see the suspect with the back bag, putting on the black glasses, the sunglasses. This camera is installed at Gaba Bypass Road. As you're coming towards Wentz Medical Center. It's about 1 kilometer from the scene of incident, my lord.
Okay, play on.
That is the opposite camera now showing the suspect on a border heading towards the scene, my lord.
Kamera ng'era eraga suspect ng'agenda ku scene kwennyini.
From there, my lord, it was at 10:16. The next activity you see is the victims being brought to Wens Medical Center, my lord, at 11:20.
Kati awo akatambi kali kakalaga abaana abo abali baatemulwa ku ssaawa 5 nga baleetebwa ku ddwaliro eyo ku ssaawa 5:2.
The first victim was brought at 11:20.
Era victim yasooka yaleetebwa ku ssaawa 5:2.
Second victim was at 11:22.
Nga victim omulala owookubiri wali wamaze okuyitawo eddakiika 2.
Then the third victim was at 11:24.
Omulala yali bamuleeta ku ssaawa 5:24.
My lord, that is the first victim as you see here.
Nga yoyo victim asooka nga bamuleese.
Was rushed to the emergency room. The same person returns. One was carrying the first victim.
Ng'era omuntu eyo yali asitudde omwana oyo n'akomawo.
At 11:22, my lord, that is the second victim.
Ku ssaawa 5:22 ne baleeta victim omulala oba omwana omulala.
That is the third victim now being brought at 11:24.
Nga era omwana yali owookusatu nga naye aleetebwa ku ssaawa 5:24.
My lord, that is all about the footages at Wens Medical Center and all the movements of the vehicle, my lord.
Thank you so much.
Much obliged, my lord.
Can we resume our seats?
My lord, that should be it from the witness.
Miss Sarah or Mr. Kumbuga, who is going to cross-examine, how long do you think it will take? Because I wanted us to have a health break. Okay, let's have him cross-examine and then we can take a health break. May I please have my exhibit? May I please have my exhibit?
Hey, the flash.
Yeah.
Can you return the flash report? Or you wanted to? No.
Want to cross-examine him on it? No.
Yes, cross-examine.
Okay.
Good afternoon, officer.
Good afternoon, my lord.
On your findings at 5-6.
That is page what?
Page 8/41.
Page?
8.
Yes, on page 8.
5.6.
5.6, right?
Yes. Private cameras at Renewal Circle located behind the scene of the incident were not operational during the morning hours of 2nd April 2026, but resumed recording at 12:52, 22 hours in the afternoon. Were you given any explanation as to why these cameras were not operational in the morning hours?
My Lord, since I interacted with the system myself, I established there was a power breakout at that time.
Abuuziddwa ekibuuzo nti ku kamera za renewal sako ez'obwannannyini nti lwaki kamera ezo zaali tezikola mu ssaawa ez'okumakya wabula zaddako wakati ssaawa 6:52 ye n'agamba mu kuzuulako yali yazuula nti ekiseera ekyo ssaawa amasannyalaze gaali tegaliiko.
And are you aware that was the time that the alleged incidents occurred?
Yes, my Lord.
Then from the recordings, the camera recordings, were you able, if even you zoom, that is on the first, were you able to identify a face? Could you identify any face from the camera recordings?
Which camera recordings is specific?
The one from first, throughout, from the time the vehicle was moving, Toto Chibuli, all throughout on first.
I think the question is, were you able to identify the face of the person that was driving that vehicle?
That vehicle.
From the cameras at Renewal Circle and at Shell, I was able to identify you.
As I was watching the video, it was too dark for any of us to identify. We
Maybe
could not even identify the...
Maybe that was the viewers from the screen and the light effect, but it's clearly seen in my laptop.
Mr. Muwaganya, do your colleagues have a copy of the flash? Do they have a copy of the flash?
No, my lord.
I think you need to give them a copy. Later, even when they are doing their submissions. Any more questions?
Just one now. From your analysis, when he was driving throughout in your camera, could you identify that the driver or any of the drivers in those vehicles could have a mental illness just from seeing the cars moving?
That is a very strange question to a CCTV
My lord,
analyst.
maybe what I can say is that the driver was very conscious and observing traffic regulations, could stop at the traffic lights to show that the lights are red, not allowing him to proceed. And once they go green, he was able to proceed and he could not knock anyone on the way.
Yabuuziddwa nti oba yali amanyi nti ekiseera ekyo amasanyalaze gataliiko ekikolwa ekyo ekyali kyakolebwa, n'agamba nti yali akimanyi, n'agamba nti yali yakozesa, ne bamubuuza nti recordings ze yali yeekebejje mu nnaku z'omwezi nga lumu ogwokuna omwaka guno, nti oba yali yasobola okubeera ng'afunako feesi ey'omuntu oyo, n'agamba nti ye ng'akozesa kamera za renewal sako n'eza share okusobola okutegeerako omuntu oyo. Lawyer w'omusibe n'agamba nti ye okusinziira ku katambi kalabe wano mu kkooti nti ko kabadde nga kaliddaako oba nga kaddugavu nga talaba bulungi, n'amuddamu n'amugamba kirabika kibadde kiva ku light oba ku kitangaala ne maybe wabadde atudde. nayongera ne bamubuuza nti okusinziira ye mu katambi ako yali asobola okutegeera nti drive oba yalina obuzibu ku bwongo bwe. N'addamu n'amugamba nti okusinziira drive oyo oba suspect engeri gyali yavugamu emmotoka eyo yali agivuga bulungi, ng'era ku bitaala nga wekibeera nga kikyaredi, nga drive oyo ayimirira nga wekiraga green oba kiragala nga drive oyo agenda, ng'era yali tatomera muntu yenna.
That's all, my lord.
Any re-exam, Mr. Mwaganya?
No, my lord.
AIP Odong, thank you so much.
Much obliged, my lord.
Could we take a health break of 15 minutes and return at 1:45?
Okay, my lord.
Kooti egenda kuwummulamu eddakiika 15.
Okay, ekitundu ekisooka ekya kooti bwe kityo bwe kitambudde, anti nkugamba buli we tuwummulamu tukomawo ne tukubaganya ebirowoozo ku kitundu bwe kiba kitambudde. Mugamba mutya mikwano gyange mwena mbalengeddeko olunaku olwaleero. Kati kooti egenze mu kye bayita break era wabawo okuwummulamuko. Bwe njogerera kati kooti egenzeeko mu break, naye njagala obbakulisaayo. Our studio lines are going to be open again. Mutuwe endowooza zammwe na biki bye mulowooza mu first session nga bwetambudde, biki bye mulabye essaawa zino. Mbalengedde mwenna kwe muli wano Beauty Promotions Kayesu Kalanzi Azijo obeerako mbalengedde. Studio lines zaffe nja kusaba baziteereko awo. You are going to call in live. Session esembyeyo police Eleese Obujulizi bwa olunaku olwaliwo before obutemu okubeerawo. Mbadde nootingamu ku bigambo ebimu ebibaddewo. Olunaku luno lwali lunaku lwa mwezi nga lumu omwezi ogwokuna. Ebifaananyi bisoose okulagibwa ku screen awo nga biraga